Hello, my name is Cyrun Winsor, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about basically the mass incarceration of the mentally ill. Let's get started. So, imagine, if you will, being incarcerated on behalf of something that is entirely within you. Not only that, but imagine that once you're in prison, you don't have the means to fix what got you incarcerated in the first place. This is much more common than meets the eye, according to a 2006 study from the Bureau of Statistics, which accounts for 61% of people taken into custody having previous mental illnesses. So, in this presentation, or this video of Subway Surfers and me talking, I will explain the rates of mass incarceration of the mentally ill in the United States, as well as some recommendations based on sources to focus on rehabilitation rather than prosecution. First, I like to just outline how prevalent this issue is, especially within the United States. In the report mentioned earlier by the Bureau of Justice Statistics, 49.2% of inmates within state and federal facilities had symptoms of mental health disorders. Of that percentage, 23.5% declared major depressive disorder, 43.2% with mania disorder, and 15.4% with psychotic disorder. Nearly half of all inmates in federal and state prisons are suffering from these symptoms without effective care or treatment. In fact, a publication by Vera reports in 2007 there were more than 2 million people behind jail bars suffering from serious mental illnesses. And since that study, it has only grown drastically since then. And to show how outdated and terrifying the ways our prison system handles mental illnesses within inmates, let's first take a look at the horrifying conditions within these prisons. In the New York Times, writer Sam Dolnick outlines the work of Eliza Roth's novel Insane, who ventured into many prisons to study the ways in which they treat suffering prisoners. He says, "It's hard to read Insane without concluding the way the criminal justice system has dealt with mental illness is profoundly broken, and that its flaws have left tremendous anguish." He then gives us some examples. He says, there's the mentally ill Virginia man arrested for stealing $5 worth of junk food, who was treated by corrections officers, quote, like a circus animal. He died in jail, apparently of starvation. He relays another incident at another prison. There is the Florida man diagnosed with schizophrenia who fouled a cell with his own feces. He was punished with a special shower turned up to 160 degrees that practically boiled him alive for 2 hours, killing him. And in the book, author Roth argues that a majority of mentally ill prisoners would be better treated beyond prison walls, and that most prisons would also benefit from not having a majority of mentally ill inmates due to the costliness and effectiveness. It is also outlined in a background paper by the Treatment Advocacy Center that because of these conditions, inmates are more inclined to commit suicide. They identify this as the leading cause of death in prisons, consisting of 15 to 20% of all deaths in the federal and state facilities. So this is a catastrophe, but what can we do to fix it? One solution is preventing the incarceration of these people from the beginning. A research highlight from the National Institute of Mental Health offers a 6-step guide in order to drastically reduce incarceration rates among the mentally ill. So here are the steps listed. Number 1, assembling a diverse team of leaders representing jail and mental health services in the county. Second, identifying validated and actually effective mental health screening tools and establishing a process for screening and assessment. Third, collecting and reviewing the flow of individuals with mental illnesses in and out of jail and behavioral health services. Fourth is examining community treatment service capacity. And fifth, developing measurable outcomes. And finally, tracking the progress by collecting patient flow data on an ongoing basis. Also, another solution is outlined by the effects of the Affordable Care Act for prisoners, which points out how affordable medication could be brought to inmates who lay within or below the poverty line when handled effectively. These are among the few measures we could take as a society to better care for those affected by our incredibly punitive prison systems in regards to treating the mentally ill inmates like people who actually need medical attention. So, in conclusion, this is a, albeit very dreary issue. Being robbed of one's freedom solely based on impairments beyond our control is downright unjust. Words cannot describe how dire this is to fix on behalf of all of those who believe in true justice and also believe in preventing chaos. To quote prisoner Jeremy Rowland from Lorna A. Rhodes' novel Total Confinement, I don't know if you can get your point across, except by bringing the public in and sticking them in one of those little cages for a week or two. And thank you so much for watching. This has been Cyrun Winsor with my presentation on the mass incarceration of the mentally ill. Thank you.